for instance, Pat would be like, Will, get out of here sometimes, man.
Yeah, dude. They'll
like,
tell him to leave. They tell this dude to leave work, and he just stands there like, well, I don't know what. I'm like, I've already clocked you out, man. Get the hell out of here. Like, what is wrong with you?
Because
he won't leave work. Like they tell me, hey Pat, you see me Scooby Doo, just a shadow. I'm out of there.
Because
man.
I feel like if I ever allow myself to get comfortable, I'm taking away from my family, and I'm taking away from so many other people that we could possibly.
But you're allowed to have a moment to enjoy your life.
Yeah,
you work your ass
but
off.
this be my moment. What's happening, y'all? Welcome to the Get It Out podcast, where we confront hard issues like addiction, hardship, and failure. Here to motivate you and give you all the jewels you need to treasure your life. I'm your host, William Hustle, and I'm here with my big brother, Big Pat.
What's up?
And we're continuing this series. On this episode, we'll be talking about feeling stuck when your life feels like it isn't going anywhere. So let's get it.
I mean, what a great topic. I think anyone that's gone through the similar things that I have as far as, struggling with addiction, feeling stuck, I mean, that's synonymous with addiction. I mean, you feel like there's no way out, that there's this is the best as it's going to get. You feel hopeless. You feel like there's no way you'll ever reach your full potential. And, there's no way that you're ever going to find peace or any type of normal life. So, yeah, the really great topic today. And it doesn't have to just be addiction. I'm sure when you sat...
Addictions is everything.
But, I mean, feeling stuck, you can't feel more stuck than when you're sitting in a prison cell.
Facts. But, I was addicted to the streets.
Sure.
So addiction comes in many forms. But what's been going on with you over the past week?
I've tried to not talk about this too much because I want to put as much positivity out there for my boys. But an unfortunate thing that, something that has been bothering me is my ex-wife has a very grim cancer prognosis. Mother of my children. This woman, just to give you some insight on who she is, I brought very little to the table as a husband due to the fact, I had a lot of pain that I carried with me through my youth, into my teenage years, into my marriage. Unresolved regrets and just unresolved pains and traumas that led to me being a very absent husband and a very, at times, absent father as well. After years of bringing this woman pain and, not bringing her the things that she deserved, she found it in her heart when I finally quit drinking. And we always stayed close. There was never a lack of love between me and my ex-wife, but you can't love drugs more than you love everybody else in your life, because all that's going to do is lead to destruction of whomever is involved with your life. But when I did finally decide to say that enough is enough, back in July of 2017, the first thing this lady does is say, we're going back to court and I'm canceling your child support, because I want you to know how proud I am of you, that you've been able to not only take this step, a step I never thought you could take, but this woman showed me love and support, and most importantly, friendship, when a lot of other people would have been like, you don't deserve shit.
Facts.
And it's something that's weighed on me.
Some people forget friendships.
But, I've known Carla since she was young. She was friends with my cousin Summer, and we dated in high school, and then ended up having 3 kids together. But we have developed a very good friendship, and it's tough not only when you have to see your kids suffer, but when you have to see a friend suffer.
Yes, sir.
And just a lot of love, a lot of support, and we have a benefit for her, thankfully, coming up on Saturday to try to help her, because anybody that's dealt with cancer or anyone knows the medical, your medical bills are outrageous when you're dealing with chemo and radiation and all this other stuff. So just sending my ex lots of love, and hoping that this is there's a light at the end of the tunnel, that after this chemo's done, that she can have not only, a lack of pain and lack of cancer, but, the hope of having a normal life again. So, that's been it. And then, again, another thing I don't like to talk about is we have family members that they get sick, and parents that get sick, and it's something that you want to be a good son, you want to be a good daughter, you want to take care of your parents, but the trouble thing sometimes is that your parents have to take care of themselves too. They have to be able to accept the fact when there's only so much we can do as children. Sometimes you have to take the step to have people that are professionals to help you get through whatever sickness or whatever illness you're going through. Because inadvertently, even though, a parent doesn't want to hurt the child or put their kids in a bad spot, by their lack of understanding or wanting to do things that are best for their health and their needs, they put everyone that they love into uncomfortable situations. And I know it's not intentional, but it's just the way that these things work out. So,
the craziest thing about life is you support whomever as much as you can, because some of the hardest decisions about life are the ones that we have to accept that we only have control. It's like my mom is going through health issues, but I only have so much control because it goes my dad first. So we only can control as much as we can control, but we have to control the emotional parts that we can control.
Sure.
Because it's hard watching. And I said I wasn't going to talk about this, but I just lost the first friend that I had since 5 years old outside of my family. The first person that I knew outside of my family just passed from cancer, and it was aggressive and it hit him quick. And then the same thing happened to his mom and his brother, and it was instant and it was quick to where we didn't even have a chance to anything.
Say goodbye.
And I wasn't gonna talk about it, but you have to be able. You only can control what you have control over.
Yeah.
Hardest part of life is emotions, man. And
that's everything.
Everything.
I'm a fortunate and unfortunate person at times, because will tell you, this is one of my closest friends right now at this point in my life. I have a very small circle of people that I hang out with. But
I ain't closer than Frisch's.
He's not as good as a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit from Frisch's.
I ain't closer than Frisch's.
He ain't better. He's right underneath the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit from Frisch's in the morning. But when you're an emotional person and you want to come from a place of love, you have to be mindful that sometimes that love can turn into some things that just overwhelm everything else in your life. You worry about the health of a loved one, a parent. You worry about the health of a friend. You worry about the well-being of your children, and inadvertently, you let these emotions dominate your life to where you can't function and even go through the daily stuff that you need to do to be your best self. So it's something that it's a trap I seem to fall into quite often.
Yeah, and I know you had. I know you really had to get that out.
Yeah.
You really had to get that out, man. One thing about Patty is Pat, just like he allows himself to feel
Did you call
bad.
me Fat Pat?
No, right? I did that.
I think you did, like, I will not be called Fat Pat.
I will not on this show.
Yeah.
But Pat, he allows himself to feel bad because, I mean, we are only one person, and once again, you only can do as much as you can do. And my wife always say to me, like, you think I'm Superwoman? I do. Just facts. But we only can do what we could do. Right. But man, we got to get the show started. So let's get to our quote of the day.
Quote of the day.
One more time.
Stephen Covey said, I am not a product of my circumstances. I am a product of my decisions. Every day you must wake up ready to live each day. Remove all blame from your vocabulary. Catch yourself when you find yourself using your past failure as a reason not to act today, and instead be free. To live each day, we must detach from what we used to be. Today, remember that how you start your day is how you live your day, and how you live your day is how you live your life. Love yourself, live in the moment, and enjoy this beautiful day. Right at the end. I nailed it right to the end.
Life choices.
Life choices. Let's get it.
We got to be honest with ourselves. Where we are at this very moment has a lot to do with our choices. If you're in a bad relationship, it's because you choose the wrong person or weren't ready to be in one. A lot of us men go through that a lot.
Man,
stop me. Listen,
hey,
trust me, if you saying something, I am going to stop you.
Yeah.
That is your cue to like, oh, I'm feeling it.
I have been in a relationship with this beautiful lady for 3 years, going on 3 years. And we struggle at times, but we also have some of the greatest days ever, where it's like, if we could duplicate this moment, it would be a perfect life. I think one thing is that we like to associate failures from past relationships to our current relationship, and it's easy to bridge the gap with someone that really, it doesn't really apply to them. But you feel something from something in the past, and you automatically know, oh, okay, well, I know how this is going to go. This is going to end up bad. She'll never go with this, or you know, she could, to the opposite, think the same thing on something I do, because you know, we've both been through divorces. But I think the main thing, and I don't want to get on we'll do a relationship another show, but
yes, I have to be sitting in the chair.
You have to communicate. And you have to be willing to not only communicate, but then put what you talk about into action. Words are so cheap, and we're all good with words. It's putting those things into action, just like it is with sitting still in your life and, you know, thinking that this is over. If that's your decision, then that's what your life will be. But if you're going to communicate and say that this is how you're going to change and do something in a relationship, then it can't just be words. And that's I'm saying this to myself because I'm good with words.
Yes, you're great with them. You're very great with them.
But sometimes I'm not as good with actions.
You have to leave yesterday. And this is one thing that goes on in rather life relationships. Yesterday is yesterday. Today is today. That means bad choices relationships, everything. Like today starts a new day, new way of thinking. That's what we trying to bring out, and that's that hard mindset to stay in. But
she said to me the other day, she's like, "Well, I want you to do this," and I'm like, "Well, I just came down and helped you burn the brush, last week. So you can do one good thing in a relationship, but I guess it's called consistency and
facts.
And being able to do those things. And
well, in relationships, you could do 99 good things, and the one good thing is going to be the biggest problem.
Like I said, we'll get to this on another show.
You might have to have ladies on here.
Yeah.
If you're having health complications, most likely it's because you've chosen to neglect your body.
Someone I love very much.
And I've done that.
Someone I love very much having health complications and big drinker.
A lot of us men
drinks.
Yeah, a lot of us men don't like the hospital.
No, don't like the hospital. But someone I love very much has some major health complications right now, and I struggle because and dealing with them, and our relationship is strained because this person likes to drink, and he says this is the only way that helps deal with the pain that he's going through, which I think is BS. And I know it is. It's a mindset, and you believe that. But
so it can't be BS when you live with, and that mindset is just about getting him out the mindset.
But the reality is that if you're needing, if you have to go through a hip replacement, you have to get a knee replacement, but you're taking in 10,000 calories a day of alcohol, then that's going to really work against your recovery. And I think that's something that you have to take responsibility for, that if you're in a bad situation where your joints and everything, putting on more weight is not going
part
to
of
be
the show.
Yeah.
We're going to get into that more down in the show.
All right.
If your money is funny, it's because you haven't shifted your mind into knowing how to use it. Big Pat, what life choices have you made that have led you down a road of rough consequences?
Boy, we get the same question.
Hey,
we get the same answer.
Yes, sir.
From me. So I've made some very poor life choices, especially when I was younger. The inability to deal with my emotions and to numb myself, to choose cocaine and alcohol, and later on in my addiction, methamphetamine. Those choices, instead of being able to look within and deal with my pain and trauma, instead to try to numb it and take something from the outside, that caused me years of pain. And just like our topic today, really sitting still, staying in the same place. I was unable to really see any progress in my life. I was just kind of there. And it wasn't like I was reaching any dreams or goals. I was just existing. And I was existing on a plane of pain and darkness. And I didn't bring a lot to the table with anybody that was associated with me or in my life at that time. So, those years and those decisions led to more and more dysfunction and more toxic things in my life.
Yes, sir.
So,
next year's
dead dreams.
Dead dreams.
There's nothing wrong with 9-to-5s. We all got families to support, but where it goes wrong is settling. Our dreams die when we get stuck in a routine, like living paycheck to paycheck. Our dreams die when we stop believing they're possible. Satisfaction can actually murder our dreams. To the point, you make money, you get money in your bank account for the first time in your life. You're able to feel just, that little bit of success to where you used to look in your bank account and it would be overdrawn. Now you've got, $2, $5, $10, $20,000 in there. That doesn't mean stop. It's easy to stop because it's like, well, what else do I need? Well, you need to make sure that you're going to have an opportunity to actually just enjoy life one day without having the prospect of having to go live your life and work for somebody else. So that's why that's why you don't stop. You also have the opportunity to share and help other people that are going through stuff. You're going to have that ability to give, and that giving is really what is one of the most beautiful things in this world. And I think it's one of the most essential things in this world, because without the people that have made it, giving that insight and giving of themselves.
When you whether streets, drugs, when you have taken so much, me today, I try and allow myself to think like, hey, you know, for instance, Pat'll be like, Will, get out of here sometimes, man.
Yeah, dude. They'll tell him to leave. They tell this dude to leave work, and he just stands there like, well, I don't know what. I'm like, I've already clocked you out, man. Get the hell out of here. Like, what is wrong with you?
Because
he won't leave work. Like they tell me, hey Pat, you see me Scooby Doo, just a shadow. I'm out of there.
Because
man.
I feel like if I ever allow myself to get comfortable, I'm taking away from my family, and I'm taking away from so many other people that we could possibly.
But you're allowed to have a moment to enjoy your life.
Yeah,
you work your ass
but
off.
This be my moment, and my moment be when my wife like, "Hey, boom, we're going here." Like those are my moments, man. I love. You see, I get upset with you. Listen, if like Pat speak on me so much, but it's like I look at Pat and be like, bro. If I could do what you could do in way lesser time, but then do it in the time I'm here, like I would double what I'm doing. Pat has to get, like, he takes care of everything to where I take care of everything, but our mindset is different, how we have things we've taken care of around us. But Pat will take care of everything one week, then he'll have to hustle hard one week, then he'll have to go outside and take care of everything another week. And it's like, he's still accomplishing what we're accomplishing in 30 days. And it's like, no, bro. So you know what I'm saying? It's a mindset.
So, Will, have you ever been in a place in your life where you got too comfortable?
Prison. I got comfortable when they told me I was going to max out. And that might be different, but when they told me, hey, you're going to do the last 10 years, I was just like, you know, whatever then. After 5 years in prison, 4 years in prison, I settled in. I really got comfortable in prison. And
there was a chance of early parole.
I was only doing the 3 to 15, but I was young. So I got in a lot of things that.
In jail, you got in trouble too?
Yeah, got in a lot of things, but boy, nothing ever would have thought when I went to see them there to say, hey, our date is 2008. Like, that's my out date. Like, I had 6 months left on my out date.
Wow.
Yes, sir. And when they gave me, like, I couldn't, for years, I was like, damn, I can't believe they did that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But, that's why you don't allow me to see you don't see me allow myself to get comfortable now. My wife, no one likes it with me, but you hear it, we see it all the time. Like, you have to put yourself in a mental state and stay there. And it is hard. Because when you come out of you're so, you see, I can get emotional about something because I allow myself to get out of that zone. But so you stick with your good habits, which leads us to bad habits. We all have those around the way friends that still live in the hood or town we come from, doing nothing with their lives. It's not our job to judge them. Some people are meant to live simple lives. But the trouble comes when you count on people who aren't ambitious to motivate you to live your best life. The company you keep determines where you're going. Facts. So I read it was on Facebook. It was somewhere, and it says if your circle doesn't inspire you,
Yeah.
and I'm like, wow. And I really look at my circle, and I'm like, bro, outside of you, and I'm talking about my brothers that, because a lot of us at the job, we don't do a lot of things, and you do more things than I do. But I'm talking about like I had to tell friends that were small with me, like, look, maybe y'all need to start selling cars because it can change your life.
Right.
I'm like, seriously, man, because I tell you, you inspire me. I inspire you. I don't have too many others that's
It's
even
definitely,
trying to.
yeah.
And some people have to be told and led, which, you know, I get it. But sorry, bro.
No, I think that's huge, man. Like, your environment has a huge impact on your morals, your values, your dreams, your goals. And there's friends that it doesn't mean that we have to stop being friends with them, but I say it all the time. There's friends and family that
Yes,
you know that we love and that we're close to, but they bring nothing to the table. They do nothing except drain you. What can you do for me?
And you got to bring something to the table.
And the truest thing about this life one of the most profound things is that just because someone grew up with you, someone that you love, a family member, it doesn't mean that they have to have a seat at your table.
No, they don't.
Sometimes people just need to be loved from afar. A text message once in a while, how you
And
been?
because you ain't there financially for somebody, don't mean you don't love them.
And not even financially. Sometimes people just suck.
No, but this is the problem.
Yeah.
This is the problem that people have with those that they always need from. Like,
Yeah.
you don't want nothing else from me.
Right.
You
just want money.
You just want money.
Or if the people that, you know, they're nobody that I used with is now still actively do I hang out with. There's one guy that just got sober that I check in on, but I think he's happy just being sober right now. He doesn't have this big uplifting goal
Right.
to just really go seize the day and take the world over.
Yes, sir.
But who you surround yourself with, it has a great impact on how far you go. How do you reach your full potential? Are you able to have a positive impact on others? I think one of the main things too is that you get somebody like yourself who is very goal oriented. You can't help but get better when you're around that.
Yes, sir.
You know, but if there's somebody that says, hey man, I just want to sit around and watch TV every day and, that's my life. You could come over here and sit and watch TV. Then don't expect a lot of progress from where you're at right now. If you got somebody that's pushing and saying, you can do better if you do this, this, and this, or you can do better if, you just put the time in to do this. It's like going, like you just started going to the gym with me. I'm very, very dedicated to working out. If I did everything like I did at the gym, I'd be a millionaire right now.
And if I did the gym like my job, I would also be modeling.
That's right.
Facts.
But yeah, man, just like who you're around determines where you're going.
Facts.
So choose wisely.
If your friends or close circles aren't dreamers or go-getters, what exactly are you doing with them? Have you ever had to leave people behind because they weren't headed where you wanted to go?
Yes.
And I spoke on that earlier because I am at the point to where I can no longer not move the way that I can move. And so either those are gonna step and follow, or I have to keep it moving, which is okay. Don't mean it just means, man, I'm going places that I'm liable not to see people.
Yeah.
And that's just real.
Yeah, and you have friends sometimes too that you realize that once you start to grow, that they're no longer on the same level as you. You have siblings, family members who, once you start to grow, you realize that if you continue to be around that, because some people just really have a bad mindset.
Yes, sir.
They have a bad attitude about life, and they're very just because of their life experience, they're toxic people. So
Facts.
I think that it's a necessity to trim the fat sometimes, and you got to let people go so you can grow and reach your best self.
Yes, sir.
Bad habits. Not everyone is addicted to drugs or alcohol. Some of us are addicted to self-sabotage, wasting time, and self-doubt. That's a huge one. That voice in our head, man. If you listen to that voice in your head, you'll never go anywhere. You have to let that thing go like a river.
I will probably be back in prison.
That voice in our head is the worst thing that there possibly is.
Facts.
It always says why we can't and why that's not going to be enough and why we're not good enough to do it. You have to silence that.
Or go do something you shouldn't be doing, knowing you don't want to do.
I got money now. I know I could go call one of the
Yes,
old
sir.
drug people and flip some money and I could make a.
Yes, sir.
No, most of the things that voice in your head comes up with is just taking you back down the path that you've already been on.
And we all have it.
Our habits, good or bad, says a lot about where we are in life. Working out. Do you wake up every day and smoke a cigarette, or do you wake up every day and work out? Do you spend time on your mental health, on your spirituality, or are you stuck watching the news and polluting your mind with more stuff that's just going to bring more dysfunction into your life? Worry, anxiety, stuff that I don't even watch the news anymore.
Facts.
I mean,
I watch the weather now. Hey, I had a weather on. For real. Well, I'd be like, what's the weather? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, you was just watching the hour. I say, no, I wasn't.
Yeah, that's the worst. Now, you should watch the weather. Because I quit watching the news, and you walk out here in Cincinnati some days, and it's 30 degrees. It'll be 70. It'll be 70 one day, and 30 degrees the next. So it is good to watch the weather. But feeling stuck has a lot to do with what we do in our daily lives. Are you complacent, or do you sit there and give yourself a reason to not take the next step, or are you pushing yourself and giving yourself reasons why you can? The great news is that is our power.
Yes.
We get to choose. We're in charge of our own salvation or our own demise. In that respect, we are our own gods, and I believe that. I don't mean any knock on religious people. I'm not, but in my point of view,
your belief,
everything lies within.
Yes, sir.
And we can change anything in this world as long as we do the work that needs to be done inside.
Yes, sir.
So life changes don't happen suddenly. They happen on habit at a time. It's just like working out. You go to the gym one day and you're not going to see results, but if you go to the gym every day at that same time, in 6 months, you're going to see results. You're transformed.
Yes,
You're a completely different person. And I've seen that happen. I went from actively drinking and drugs, and within 1 year, I had my bench press back up to 385. I mean, and that's most people that are smoking meth aren't benching 385.
Facts.
I mean, you get to see the change when you just put in the time, and it all starts with your mindset. We build a healthy momentum towards success when we have habits in place that guarantee our prosperity. Will, what's one habit you've established that's helped you become successful?
What a lot of people don't like about me, I put my hustle first. There's nothing more important to me. And I catch a lot of slack. I don't catch slack from you. There's nothing more important to me when I'm blessed to wake up than to go out here and sell a car. Because that car is how I live and how I help so many people. And that's how I am able to share and display my love. Like there is, there. It has to, like a purpose. There's not much that's going to take me away from being at my location trying to sell a vehicle that takes care of me and my loved ones and help people, man. Like it's
one of the realest things that I've seen. I mean, again, Will is a close friend of mine, but this man doesn't just take care of his wife. He doesn't just take care of his kids. He takes care of his friends. He takes care of his mom. He takes care of his sisters. He takes care of his whole family, and he does it without blinking an eye, because it's not like, well, maybe I'll be able to do this for you this month, Mom, or maybe I'll be able to do this for you this month, Kathy. It's no, I'm going to. You already know it.
I ain't make it to the league. I was good in football and baseball, man. I really was.
But as certain as the sun's going to rise, Will's going to take care of his family.
Facts.
And that's mindset.
Facts. Like, I feel like I'm letting them down. I let them down with the decisions I made younger. I can't let them down now.
Right.
I already had my selfishness. Think about that. I already had my selfishness for me.
And I think that's great. I think we both have experienced.
Yes, sir.
You know, there's nothing like you're being a drug dealer or a drug addict. Those are the two highest forms of selfishness, because it's all about us.
It's all about us.
It's all about us.
It's all about us.
And now to come 360, you know, well, it'd be not 360, it'd be 180.
180.
Because 360, he'd be back selling drugs, and I'd be back doing it. Right?
Yes, sir.
No, it's definitely a good
It's beautiful.
Yeah, man.
Like, nothing makes me feel, and you know, a lot of people say to me, like, you let people, like, man, no one is using me in my life, because I am actually in the position that what I extend, it's not hurting me and can't hurt me in no shape or form. Like, not the dollar amount. It can't hurt me.
Yeah.
I'll go without before I'd allow it to hurt something that could put somebody in a bad position. But being loyal, that's why we have this. This isn't just a podcast. Me and this brother, we tried to stay away from each other, where he could do his thing, I do my thing, and universe just brought us back together.
Right.
This is loyal. But who are you committed to that has kept you stuck? Who have you made promises to that keeps you from your future? Remember, the first person you should be loyal to is yourself.
Say that one again.
Remember, the first person you should be loyal to is yourself. If you're stuck in a job, town, relationship, ask yourself, how much time do you have left to live a life you don't want? That's right. I was finna jump in there too. Go ahead.
So we have to work. Most of us, I'd say 95% of us have to work jobs that it's not the end game. It's not where we see ourselves. It's not where we picture our dreams and goals. It's that's not the mountaintop, but it is part of the mountain on the way up.
Yes, sir.
And just, it doesn't mean that we have to, and this is something that I've had to work at, because I get sometimes overly critical of myself when I feel like I'm doing something that is not giving, that is not shedding light to help somebody out of a dark place, or if I'm doing something that could actually be detrimental to someone, and inadvertently or whatever way. So I think sometimes we work jobs, and those jobs are just a means to reach our goals and dreams. And as long as we keep that in the forefront of our mind, we don't have to get sucked into, oh man, I'm going to be here the rest of my life. This thing sucks. Look at all, I'm wasting my life away here. This is not what I want to do. This is not where I see myself. That's great. Don't see yourself there in 10, 15 years. Just know that you need to be there today, so that tomorrow, or maybe the next day, or maybe next year, you can take that next step to where you need to be and where you want to be.
And catch the key word that he said. Find you a dream. Find you a purpose. when you're working towards something, it allows you to look and feel different.
Yeah.
Instead of, oh, I got to get up to go to work every day to pay my, like, no. What is your purpose? What is your reason? What is your why? And that is just the obstacle, like he said, to get you there. Everything in life is how you see it.
It's all perspective. And it's easy to have a bad perspective. Like, oh my gosh.
Like this.
Look at the hours that I'm putting into this place. And look how much of, my life is just slipping away. I'm not getting any younger. But you can also flip the coin and, man, by putting this time in here, look how much money I've made at this place.
And I could go when I want to go.
And I can leave when I want to leave. And they allow me to go to events for my family. I can go on vacations with my family. So,
and my bill's still paid.
I have money in the bank. So there's definitely always two sides.
Always two sides.
Is the cup half empty or is the cup
half full? How you see it.
And the lens through you, what you believe is the lens through which you see the world. And you could put on the worst or you could put on the best.
And it's hard.
It is.
It is hard.
We don't have it all figured out.
But it feels good. No, we don't. But I mean, it feels good.
Yeah.
To like, I never used to understand when I used to hear people like, oh, I don't acknowledge. You really do not have to acknowledge the other side of the coin.
You don't.
Until, like, okay, let me acknowledge. But you don't have to acknowledge it when it can truly affect you. Everyone suffers when you're not being real. When you're not who you're called to be, no one is getting the best out of you.
Yeah.
So if I did anything else, they wouldn't, I got to hustle. The hustle is everything that I am. I believe God put me on this world to make money, to help people change their lives, because everyone is not willing to get out here and make money and give themselves a better life. But I am.
And just to those other people like myself, it's not about money, just so you know, because money is not happiness. But when you're not your true self, when you don't love yourself, nothing in this life will fall into place. So again, everyone does suffer.
Yes, sir.
Your children, your family, your work, your dreams and goals. If you're not looking within to be your true authentic self, then you're always going to be half empty. But when you love yourself and you love yourself enough that you're able to forgive any past mistakes, any past traumas or regrets, and you don't look to tomorrow because you know that tomorrow is not here yet, then you get rid of your worry and your anxiety and you're able to just be here today. Then that's when all the magic, man, that's when it all hits, because you're grateful. And when you have gratitude, that's like one of the magic things in life that just keeps coming back around. Like you're able to see the beauty in each new day. You're able to be grateful for just taking that breath in the morning and having a fresh start at life. So our perspectives are everything. Our mindset is everything.
Everything.
And our ability to love ourselves is the fundamental key, that if you can just do that, then I swear to you, it's like the magic elixir. Everything will fall into place.
Facts. The solution to getting unstuck is to honor your dreams, goals, and time first. Find out what your assignment is. Find out why you were born and chase that with everything you have. Gonna be mistakes along the way. Bumps and bruises along the way. But the fighter that continues to fight can never lose. You feel that? Yeah. I just came up with that on the spot, bro. I don't know.
Put that down. That'll be the next quote of the day. That's our next.
Yes.
The fighter that continues to fight will never lose.
Can never lose.
Can never lose. Yeah, because you know that there's always going to be tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
If you fail today, you can try again tomorrow. And if you don't make it tomorrow, you could try again the next
Facts.
day. And that's the great thing about
life.
It's
beautiful.
It is. It is.
Only a fool don't change.
No, I mean, and I don't want to call.
It's not talking about anyone. It's a state like. But listen, if I keep getting smacked because I keep doing something and it hurts my face, only a fool don't change. It's like being a kid. Don't put and you keep putting your hand in that fire, you're gonna keep getting burned. You know. Yeah, it's not taking a slap at anyone, but only
some people can't face their. Some people
choose not to.
They do choose not to. You choose not to face your pain, your trauma, your regrets. You have a huge disconnect.
It's a beast.
It is. It's one of the hardest things that I ever did. I never thought that I'd be able to do it until I finally did. And it's like you have the weight of the world off your shoulders.
Yes, sir. The truth is you've wasted enough time being polite about your future. It's time to be aggressive about the things you need to accomplish your goals. You don't have to be stuck. Make moves today. Get free and get it out.
Get it out.
You've been listening to the Get It Out podcast. We're your hosts, William Hustle, and Mr. Love himself, Big Pat.
Glad to be here tonight, guys.
And if you like what you heard, please feel free to subscribe and share. We're just building this community. Please tune in Sunday live at 7 o'clock. You can head over to williamlyles.today to get it out on IG and Facebook. If you'd like to be a guest, please DM one of us. I guess that's the end of the show. You know, normally when he see me get to the end, he says something.
No, but in closing, just because you haven't been able to get where you want to get doesn't mean that you won't go there. I thought for 25 years that I was going to die a drug addict. I thought I was going to be, the worst possible role model that my kids ever saw. And I would never, ever have anything like a normal life until one day that changed. And it all changed because I believed that I was worthy of more.
That's so.
And I say it all the time, and I'm going to keep saying it over and over, and you'll hear it 1,000 more times on this show. But all change is one thought that becomes a belief, that becomes a way of life.
And tomorrow is over.
Thank you for tuning in.
Peace. One.
Much love.